This is Boxing Tickets NI. We're here at the Frampton book launch in Belfast. I was thinking, Carl, obviously, as I stand and watching, I was going, what have you not done? Obviously, within boxing, obviously, you're obviously a 3-time two-weight world champion, MBE, a doctorate in Queen's. You've obviously Stablemate, whiskey, your own book. Is the next thing now a movie?
No, I wish. Someone actually said the guy who made the David Beckham documentary, big Hollywood director, I can't remember his name, Fisher Stevens, you call him. He was on Talksport with me the other day. He's a lovely fella, and he said I had a face for the movie, so you never know.
It's always something we've been well used to. Obviously, everybody says you have a face for crime watch sort of thing, you know. But obviously, you've been everywhere. Obviously, the last couple of weeks, I guess when you thought you were going to retire, you were going to get more time at home. Obviously, you're in TNT Sport nearly every couple of weeks. You've been everywhere, but I guess that's the things you have to do, obviously, as a businessman now, obviously, with the Stablemate whiskey and particularly with the book. But it's flying out, and I think other than Paris Fury, maybe in some, you're on top with a lot of them, so it's been well received.
Yeah, well, I was in front of Paris Fury for a while the last time I checked. Maybe she's pipped me again, but yeah, look, we were flying at a point last week. It was in the top 10 best-selling books on Amazon of all books. It was the #1 sports book and certainly #1 boxing book for a while. So there's been a lot of interest about it, but I'm busy and flat out doing this, and I didn't realise there was so much I had to do in promoting the book. But it's been wild, but it's been all right.
I haven't read the book yet. Obviously, I've known, obviously, been a boxing fan for years. Obviously, we've always had the hearsay. A lot of people wanted to know the story. I guess a good way of bringing the book out is rather than you having to explain all the time, people can read and digest their own opinion of what happened.
That's it. Read it and make your own mind up for yourself. But there's the book. There's probably a third of the book, maybe a quarter of the book, maybe a third of the book dedicated to the court case and everything else, because one of the issues for me was that I just felt like it wasn't really reported on properly. It was going on during COVID and the courtrooms were empty. Normally it would have been packed, I imagine, it was a pretty high profile case, but this is me. I remember just rushing home, like big things were discovered in court, and rushing home to see them on the news, and they just weren't picked up. So this is warts and all.
Obviously, someone that spent a lot of the tail end of your career with you, obviously Jamie Moore, was obviously speaking to him last week in Dublin at the press conference. Obviously, you rekindled something for Jamie now. At the same time, he rekindled something for you. Obviously, the best years, you said, obviously, in your boxing career with Jamie Moore. At that time, obviously, he was filling in. Didn't want to be a trainer. And now, obviously, we look at him, obviously, the stable he has. Can you sort of take something from that you've helped keep Jamie within the sport?
No, and I take Jamie's done as his own man, and him and Nigel are a great combination, and they've done everything on their own merit. That's, I can't take any credit for that, but I enjoyed the time I spent with Jamie and Nigel. I was with Nigel yesterday actually for a couple of hours, and I mean they're lifelong friends. Them guys are just selfless, good people, and I was kind of regret that I didn't go with them a bit earlier. That's all.
I guess sometimes in hindsight, isn't it, we'd like to do these things a lot sooner. You'd like to get your first million, obviously, a lot sooner as well, I guess. Obviously, it wouldn't be fair if obviously I didn't ask you, obviously, your opinions on Warrington tonight. It's sort of similarities in the way that obviously Josh beat you, Leigh beat Mick Conlon. So obviously we're people like that where they always thought of you, and Mick is probably fair to say in some ways this is what maybe might have happened maybe in this fight tonight. We're seeing someone that beat both of you and seeing how everybody likes these virtual matchups nowadays. Isn't it a good way to compare it?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I don't think you can really look at two different fights and pick a winner. But that's not the way boxing works. So, I beat. I'm trying to think of an example of someone who I beat and then they beat someone.
Kiko Martinez.
Kiko Martinez. He went on and done Kate Galahad, obviously. So, we man out there loving life.
He's singing Frampton songs. It's like the SSE Arena.
So I'm just looking forward to a good fight. I think it will be a cracking fight. I kind of favour Leigh Wood in the fight. I just think he's a bit more fresh than Josh is, and Josh has been in loads of hard fights and maybe one hard fight too many, and he might be at the similar stage of his career that I was when I was fighting him. Not over the hill, but just maybe slightly past my best. But when you're fighting world-class operators, when you're slightly past your best, then sometimes it's not good enough.
It's that poker face, isn't it, in fight week? Sometimes, obviously, when you're draining weight and everything else, you don't want to give too much away. Obviously, as you said, obviously, with the Jamel O'Hearn fight, everything was amazing. Obviously, sparring Dilmangani and Kakachi, and then you get in the ring and you get hit by a punch, and that's it completely changes.
I mean, I was confident going into that fight. I thought I could win it, but I had great. I had a great camp, and as Anto would tell you, like I was sparring out of my skin, I was flying, and everyone was backing me to win the fight. But sparring and fighting is two completely different things, and it was just a step too far, and he was too big for me. And I'm glad I had a go though, you know what I mean? I'm glad I tried it out, but he was just a bit too big and a bit too good for me.
Yes, now listen, I'll not keep you because obviously I know that you're going now to Lisburn to do another one. You obviously don't think you've had much sleep in the last week or so as well, but it'll be worthwhile when obviously everything's best selling, and even when Stablemate comes out and everybody's drunk in the streets on Saturday night and they're going, that's that Frampton boy for you.
Oh, listen, it's life's really busy at the minute, but it's all right. It'll calm down in a few weeks, but it's good. I can't complain. Life's good.
Well, listen, thanks for your time. We'll catch up with you soon.
All the best.